and welcome back to the channel, and this should be a special one. It's been made mention of quite a few times over the last couple of weeks, this beer, and it really does promise to be quite something special. It is a 10% triple red ale, which I definitely can't think of ever had anything remotely like. I don't even ever think I've had a double red ale, so this is really mind-boggling stuff. It's from Vocation. It was £5 for this can, which is not cheap, but it's also not ridiculous in kind of specialty beer terms. So if it's good, it could be very good, if you know what I mean. 440ml can, 10%. So I mean, this is, yeah, I'm not going to be doing much after this today, I don't think. I can see on the back of the can that the hops are Amarillo, Citra, which puts us in risky territory. Columbus, Sabro and Simcoe. I'm hoping the merger of all those things plus the strength of the beer as a whole might make it a bit more palatable for me for the Citra part, but we're going to find out anyway. I'm not going to read anything else about it. Let's just get straight into this. So first, quick look at the can. Beautiful kind of crushed velvet design. It's triple red written on the bottom there, and it just, well, I mean, it looks appetizing, that, doesn't it? Oh, it smells beery in here. I mean, it's not particularly red in the glass, I have to be honest. It's quite dark. Holding it up to the light, there is red bleeding through, but some of that could be the reflection from the lights behind me, actually. I'm trying to get a... Yeah, there's a bit of red in the bottom there. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Not quite. Light tan head. Looks like it's quite closable. It might actually stick around, which is a semi-surprise of something of this strength. It looks a bit murky in there, I'm going to be honest. It's not the most visually appealing beer, I think we can agree. It's not got the velvety look of a stout or porter. It's got... well, it's a bit murky, I think is fair to say, but it's holding its head. It doesn't look bad, so let's find out how she smells. It's a cop-out, but it smells like beer. Really though, I'm getting a bit thrown off with this. It's, as you can tell by the hop profile, it's actually, as it would suggest, it smells a lot more like an American IPA. Fruity, much more East Coast, New England style. Not very bitter though. It's got a tiny bit of grapefruit. Huge splashes of other stuff in there though. It's a real mixed bag. Like, I think I'm even getting kiwi out of it, which granted is quite an oddity. Some grape in there, melon, mango. There's a bit of earthiness. Wouldn't be surprised if people argue for passion fruit, but it's not really sweet enough for me for that. Yeah, real fruity nose on it, and it's got an underlying real boozy note. So it's we're almost into very strong fruit punch territory almost. It's got a real nose on it. That really interesting. Right, let's get into it. Cheers. Oh, such a big mouthful of such a strong beer first time out. Probably wasn't my greatest move. Oh, that's got depth and depth and depth. Wow. Okay, I think, as I probably should have stated at the start, this really should be a saver and a sipper, so we'll take it slightly lighter from now on. There's so much going on in there. It's fruity, it's got some coffee notes, some roastiness going on. That Citra is starting to break through for me a little bit, which is a bit of a shame. Huge boozy lick. There's so much going on. There's only one thing for it. Top to bottom taste test. Initially, very low carbonation. Not sweet or bitter on the front of the tongue. A little silky, but the body's not super thick. Then you get kind of that harsher tropical fruit cut, that grapefruit, maybe a bit of lemon actually coming through on the taste now. That comes in, but it's not bitter still. It's not, you get the impression that it's going that way, but it doesn't quite get there. You get that fresh flash up front, but then that mellows out into something sweeter. Coffee, cocoa. Weirdly, this is two drinks in one. This is This is properly IPA at the front and then a deep roasty stout porter at the back. It's quite a confused beer, but I am liking it. Back end, right at the back, you go back to fruits again. There's some mango in there, a bit sweeter. And the aftertaste, weirdly, to say how strong this drink is and how many big bold flavours are in there, it's very clean. There's not a lot really hanging around. There's a little bit of mild bitterness, but really not a lot. Paul's Beer Review reviewed this. Now, he did it in a Vocation bar, I believe. So I think it would have been on tap. So it's probably quite a bit different, but I've purposely not watched his review yet because I didn't kind of want it to influence my own so much. I'll be very interested to see what he says, because this is another one of those so complicated. I think you could really get quite lost in trying to pick out different things. So, and I also think this is going to change quite a lot with the temperature. So let's take a look at the can for a minute and come back to it. On the can it says Vocation Triple Red 10% Imperial Red Ale. Triple Red is a 10% Imperial Red Ale. Triple Red is our big, bold, warming Imperial Red Ale. Warming it is, I'm actually getting hot just sat here and it's not that warm outside. I'm really radiating as a result of this. Combining the deep malty character of a barley wine with the immense hoppiness of an IPA, expect a balanced, boozy and sophisticated beer with a deep auburn colour. Yep. It says pour carefully, may contain sediments. I mean, it was a pretty murky from the off, so don't know about that. Shop online 24/7 at vocationbrewery.com. Allergens are malted barley, wheat and oats. Hops are, as we already said, Amarillo, Citrus, Columbus, Sabro and Simcoe. The best before seed base of can. August next year. So actually, despite the strength, I thought it might last a bit longer than that. Obviously, the high hop content maybe wears out after a bit. It's 4.4 UK units in that can. So yeah, I'm really just going to be doing nothing for the rest of the day. Brewed and canned by Vocation Brewery in Hebden Bridge, and that really is all it says about it. It says don't drink while pregnant and while operating a vehicle. Yes, agreed. Don't do that. It won't end well. This really is something quite different, it has to be said. As they suggested, it really is well balanced, which I think is the takeaway from this, because, I mean, it shouldn't be, should it? A malty, deep, rich, slightly smoky, you know, all those default dark beer terminology, mixed in with insane hop levels from an IPA, should be a car crash for me, to be honest. I think now, if I'm being honest with myself, would I have preferred it with less hop character? Yeah, probably. But that's just my preference. I know not everyone's the same. There's nothing taken away from the fact that this is an incredibly well-balanced beer. That aroma's changed completely. It's getting bubblegummy. Real. Yeah. Hubba bubba, mixed fruit bubblegum. Wow. The hops are still there, but they're kind of blended together into this one fruity entity, if you like. It's really quite a bizarre drink, and it's so smooth. That's the takeaway, right? Whilst this does come across as boozy, you can smell it, you can taste it. To say it's 10%, yeah, you wouldn't have guessed that. I'd have said it was a harsh 7 or 8 at best. So that is really quite impressive. I don't really have anything else to say about this. I had high hopes for this. Did it live up to them? Well, yes and no. I was hoping for a real, just boozy red ale, traditional, almost Scotch ale kind of thing. And that's not what they delivered. They delivered something very different, but it's something I wasn't expecting, and it's something that has worked. So, yeah, I'm pleased. I'm pleased. Paul loved this. I can see why. This is right up his street, I think. And yeah, I don't really have a great deal else to say about it. So annoyingly, this is a bit of a shorter review given, well, the relatively high cost of this drink and the amp up for it. But hey, we never know how it's going to go, and I think we'll leave it there. So as always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it if you haven't already. Subscribe if you will be so kind, and I'll go and enjoy this for the rest of the evening. Cheers.